Dobro Jutro, Divine Pisces, 222. It is Monday, November 4th, 2019. I'm going to do an energy check-in for the Twin Flames today. And I guess let's go ahead and get this started. Alright, so first card out today, we've got Pisces. So yeah, I'm feeling still some more of this kind of dreamy quality going on right now between the twins. I feel a lot of 5D communication, absolutely. Dream messages, telepathy, that sort of thing. The energy kind of going both ways. But also this feeling of just kind of going with the flow, especially with Divine Feminine right now. Just kind of going with the flow. Focusing on her spiritual aspect, trying to keep herself grounded, so that her head's not so much in the clouds at this point. Divine Masculine, still feeling kind of pulled in two different directions, absolutely. And it's like that tether, that tether that just keeps pulling and pulling and pulling, and eventually it's going to snap back together. So I do feel some runner-chaser dynamic definitely happening right now between the twins. Not even in the 3D as much as in the 5D. And this can happen too, okay? So I do feel a lot of Divine Masculines kind of taking a time out, dealing with some of their inner issues. I feel, again, a lot of resentment coming in, but also a lot of feelings of betrayal coming in, specifically for Divine Masculine, but this is also Divine Feminine as well. Feelings of betrayal, possibly in the karmic situation, but also between the twins. Resentment, not being able to let go of the past for some reason. Though I feel, again, this is more on Divine Masculine side, because Divine Feminine, for the most part, is trying to live in the now, but this comes to the surface every now and then, right? I do feel definitely the ending of some cycles coming in, because this always represents the death card to me, okay? And it's like Divine Masculine, believe it or not, is really working hard to cut away some of the crap that he no longer wants to deal with. And it starts energetically, okay? Trying to distance himself from toxicity energetically, which eventually will lead to it being manifested in the 3D, okay? So yeah, definitely feel some ascensions, some awakenings definitely happening right now with the twins, guys. So you're probably feeling this, probably feeling a lot of darkness coming up out of nowhere, so seemingly, right? I do feel a lot of shadow aspects still coming to the surface, and of course we're in Scorpio season, so the fact we have Scorpio and we have Pluto here, and the darkness coming to the surface in Scorpio season, that doesn't surprise me one bit. So I do feel still some dark night of the soul happening here, some sexual energy absolutely coming through here. So keep that in mind. I'm feeling Divine Masculine's kind of back in this closed off energy, specifically in the heart chakra. So I definitely would recommend a heart chakra clearing for the majority of you, okay? This will help with the shadow aspects, okay? Bring them to the surface faster so that they can be healed instead of being suppressed. Because a lot of these shadow aspects are being suppressed, and not just with Divine Masculine. This is Divine Feminine too. Again, kind of talked about the purging and being afraid to purge because you're afraid to face yourself. You don't need to be afraid to face yourself, okay? You're still facing yourself. What's to be afraid of? Okay, what's the worst that's going to happen? You bring something to the surface and it's going to be healed. So need to really focus on that, guys. Clear that stuff out. If you feel the need to purge. Don't sit there and hold it in, okay? I do feel, again, a lot of downloads absolutely coming from Source. I feel it's kind of intensifying right now. I know we have Mercury in retrograde. So I feel like the messages are kind of confusing, but there are messages coming through. Okay, so I want to clear out also the third eye and head chakra, so that you can get those downloads and interpret them clearly. Okay, Divine Feminine, definitely learning to see things a little bit different. It's like the perspectives are shifting, and that's actually really, really good. So I do feel a lot of divine feminines are seeing a change specifically in themselves, in their situations, possibly in the connection, but I do feel this is more inner recognition. Excuse me, inner recognition of things coming to the surface and healing and seeing actually results within herself. Divine Masculine, I do feel there are some shifts happening with Divine Masculine. He may not be recognizing those for what they are, okay? He may be seeing them in a completely different light, all right? Which, for the most part, is going to lead to more towers if they haven't gone through them already. It's been a rough season for Divine Masculine. A lot of towers, cluster towers. It's like they barely pick themselves up after one tower and then another one hits, right? So I do feel still a lot of ego happening here in the connection. Both counterparts. This is not just Divine Masculine, okay? If you're afraid to purge, if you're afraid to heal, this is an ego thing, okay? Because your ego's coming in and saying, no, you don't want to do that. It's scary, right? So try to push that ego aside, guys. Try to push that aside and continue your healing regardless, okay? Because it is going to help you break away those last pieces of whatever belief system is keeping you stuck at this point, okay? Divine Masculine's definitely an ego right now. Definitely an ego. And I mean, this is not surprising, and of course it's skipping, hold on. It's not very surprising at all, okay? So just keep that in mind, Divine Feminine. You're probably, again, feeling some really off energies coming through, if you're feeling anything at all. Some Divine Masculines have pulled back in the 5D. Okay, so you may not actually be feeling them. And it's like they know you can feel them, so they block it. Like close off their chakras. They may not even know that they're doing it, but it's like an instinctive thing. They're like, no. It also could come in with repression if they're, suppressing certain emotions and things like that. Just saw 717, that's funny. Then, you're not going to feel them quite as readily, okay? But I do feel, again, that runner-chaser dynamic happening in the 5D right now. So it's like, a lot of Divine Masculines are facing some really hard challenges right now. So it's like they're not wanting to project that, believe it or not. So it's like they're actually protecting the connection, okay? Because they don't want to send that negativity to you. For a while there, it was like Divine Masculine was like pulling all of the energy that Divine Feminine was sending, right? So that he could deal with the karmic situation, whatever that may be. And he wasn't sending anything back. And then it was like there was a switch, and then Divine Masculine was sending nothing but like negativity and fear and anxiety and panic. Because they were going through, whatever they were going through, and they were projecting that. So Divine Feminine was feeling that. And now it's like they understand the energy exchange here, okay? Because Divine Feminine had pulled back, right? Because Divine Feminine was feeling drained. So Divine Masculine felt that energy kind of shift and leave. And so now they're acting in turn. It's like they're not sending it. Do you see what I'm saying? So because it's negative, and they don't want to send it. So it's really kind of an interesting shift. The last kind of panic episode that I had was on Saturday. I don't really know where it came from. It just came out of nowhere. It was like the middle of the day. I was at my desk trying to work, and then it just all of a sudden I was just like, what is that? Didn't like it. Don't like it at all. All right, so Divine Masculine, yeah, definitely trying to balance himself out. Absolutely. Because, been feeling kind of back and forth in these really negative panic sort of energies, right? And he doesn't like it either. But it's like, instead of dealing with it, he's blinding himself to it and just pushing it down. But the universe is trying to come in and show him you can't do that. The more you suppress, the more towers we're going to hit you with. Okay, so a lot of them are probably going through that. I also feel definitely the ending of some karmic contracts here, guys. Karmic contracts, I feel some of them something to do with the courts. So I don't know if there's a legal battle here, custody battle, buying a new home, that sort of thing. Any sort of legal action that may be coming through here. But yeah, the divine definitely trying to come in and help him balance this out, okay? And when the universe steps in and it's like, hey, we're from the universe, we're here to help. It's kind of like the government. You're like, oh no, I don't want you to help, right? I want to do it myself. And the universe is like, well, you haven't been doing it yourself, so here you go. But yeah, definitely feeling the need to purge from divine masculine. Absolutely. Absolutely. They've been suppressing for a really long time, and it's coming to the surface whether they like it or not. It's like bubbling up little bit by little bit. You know, because the universe is kind of like testing them to seeing how they'll react to this, but it's like they just keep suppressing. So I feel a massive, massive purge coming in for the divine masculine here, and if it hasn't happened already, it will be happening very soon. And it's forcing them to relinquish control, because, you know, divine masculine wants control. They want control all the time. Divine feminine does, but in a different way. So divine feminine is trying to release control. The universe is trying to come in and show divine masculine he also needs to release control, okay? Because guess what? He can't control the ending of these cycles. He can't, okay? They're there for a purpose. They're there to learn a lesson, but once that lesson is done, you're supposed to move on to the next lesson and stop getting stuck in this cycle over and over and over again. And I do feel some of them definitely caught in some codependent cycles, financially, mentally, emotionally, codependent cycles. And so, yeah, it's seriously, this has been going on for a while. The universe coming in to light, what do I say? Light a fire up under their ass, right? Because that's what it's trying to do. It's trying to get them to make that decision to move forward because they need to. All right. And it's just like they're standing there. They're triggered. They've got this trigger. They're recognizing the trigger. I do feel divine masculine has come a long way with this. They do recognize triggers when they happen at this point. They just don't know what to do about it, right? They don't purge it. They just suppress it. So they've got this trigger and they're trying to figure out what to do with it, right? And in the meantime, universe is like, well, I mean, I've been trying to show you the way. Divine feminine's been trying to show you the way. You know, this cord, it's not going anywhere. Sorry about your luck. You can try to disconnect if you want, but we're just going to keep hitting you with more and more and more. Just like we did with Divine Feminine, okay? Until Divine Feminine said, okay, enough, I surrender. Okay? Don't throat punch me. I'm done, right? So yeah, it's like forcing them to face their truth. It's forcing them to face their truth. And just like, you know, I've said before, facing those shadow aspects can be very scary. They don't want to face their truth. They're afraid they're going to hurt themselves. They're going to hurt someone else. Fear, right? They're absolutely terrified. They're very, very insecure. And without their belief systems, without those foundations that they were, you know, that were so beat into them, you know, they don't feel like they're anything, you know? They can't stand on their own, right? So I do feel at this time a lot of divine masculines are being pulled into the feminine energy, okay? Which is really interesting. It's almost like they're exploring, believe it or not, they're exploring the spiritual side. A lot of them, I do feel, probably have been doing research. A lot of them are aware of these connections. They may not have the terminology, but they're aware of the connection itself. They're aware there is one. And so they're doing their research. They're trying to figure out what the heck is happening to them. And they're being faced with the truth, but it's like at the same time, they're in denial. It's a paradox. It's definitely a paradox. So let's get some cards for Divine Feminine, see what's going on with Divine Feminine today. Don't want to be a super long video, but it might be. Sorry. Alright. Yes, Divine Feminine, yes. Manifesting like crazy, right? Really putting her heart and soul into whatever it is she's working on, whether it's her mission, she's working on herself, she's trying to get her finances together, whatever it is, she's really manifesting, and she's understanding, you know, that she can manifest even more. Okay, so it's like you get a little bit of success, and it makes you feel good, so guess what? You just keep doing it, right? It's kind of addictive, this manifestation thing, right? But I do feel some divine feminines still holding back a little bit, especially on their purging. And I know, again, it's scary, but you definitely want to purge as things surface, okay? It's not good to keep it in, right? But then again, you know, also some divine feminines disconnecting from the connection itself here with the Two of Cups to focus on her Ace of Cups, filling her own cups, filling her own cup. Yeah, singular. It's kind of like, I think it was yesterday or the day before, talking about Divine Feminine had enough of people drinking out of her cup. The cup was empty. So now she's learning to fill it again. Okay, so that's another part of manifestation there. And actually a big part here, because obviously you have all four, but then there's the cup right there. Okay, so Divine Feminine stepping back also, taking a time out, working on herself, trying to disconnect from the energies. Not exactly easy. The energies come through anyway, but really, really focusing on herself right now and trying to align that inner truth with her own belief systems that have come crashing down, right? So that she can ascend. She can ascend even further, right? And she can feel that wish fulfillment. Okay, and a lot of Divine Feminine's feeling this right now, absolutely. You know, feeling like they're accomplishing things, feeling like they're making progress, you know, but at the same time, something's still holding Divine Feminine back from speaking her truth. Now, I feel this is actually something to do with a third-party situation. So those of you still in karmic situations, have you told your karmic the truth? Not necessarily about the connection, but about you and how you feel and how the cycles that have been keeping you stuck for so long are not serving you. Have you discussed that? Okay, I mean, it's something that you probably need to do, right? I've discussed it with mine. Okay, my karmic is well aware of what I've been going through and how I've been feeling and how I don't want to do it anymore, right? So have you done that? Because to release a cycle, you need to have knowledge that the cycle is an issue, right? So, you know, try not to hide from it. You don't want to hide from the cycle, okay? You want to branch out and speak your truth without fear. Speak your truth without fear, okay? So that you can fill your cup and have people stop drinking out of your cup and stop draining your cup, right? Because that cup, that is your cup. That is yours. Give to whoever you choose. It's not there for somebody to drink out of willy-nilly, right? All right, I went ahead and pulled message cards, so I'm going to go ahead and hold them up for you guys. So messages from your counterpart here. Mm-hmm. That is a weird one. All right. Let's get some messages from the universe, and then we'll leave it there. Too many! Hate when they do that. Okay. Yes. Surrender. Surrender is key. Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. Divine Feminine still has some surrender to do, right? I mean, she's been working on it, but there's always some sort of epiphany that you're like, oh yeah, no, I'm not surrendered. Absolutely not. So release control, guys. And keep your thoughts positive, okay? And it's okay to believe in the impossible because honestly, everything's possible. Everything. And once you start manifesting, once you start actually like seeing the results of that, yeah, you realize, oh my God, I can do anything. I can do anything I want. It's amazing. Yeah, so some of you will be getting answers very soon. I know you've been waiting for contact. A lot of you have been waiting for contact. Your person has been deceptive. They haven't been actually sharing anything with you. So I do feel that that is going to be resolved very soon for some of you. Just keep in mind the emotions are running very high, especially with Divine Masculine right now. Okay, so they're not really in a good headspace. So if you haven't received communication, if you are in separation, again, it's probably a blessing, because honestly, you probably don't want to be around them right now. Because they're lashing out. They don't know how to deal with the emotions, so they're lashing out to people around them. That's exactly what they're doing. They're lashing out. They are distant. They are just really, really in their heads right now. And it's not pretty. It's not pretty at all, because they're trying to heal. They're going through a healing process, and it's time for you to step back and heal. A lot of you still have some healing to do, okay? Okay, so I need to refocus that. And if you haven't found your mission yet, it's time, okay? Do something different. Do something you wouldn't normally do. I mean, I never thought I'd be on YouTube. This was a big surprise for me, okay? So I just did it. My intuition was like, just do it. And I was like, okay. And boom, there you go. So step out of your comfort zone. Do something different. If you've been wanting to do something that you think is going to make an impact and you've been afraid to do it, stop thinking about it. You're overthinking, okay? Just do it. All right, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. If this has resonated, please like, share, subscribe, and I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.